Hi everyone, welcome to lecture 11. This is essentially in continuation to lecture 10 in which we talked about functions. And in this lecture I'll introduce modules and methods, but we will go into the details in some later lectures in the course. So what are methods? Before that we need to understand what modules are. Going back to Spider, we wrote a function that calculates the area of a circle. If I can have multiple functions all together and saved into a Python file, what I can do is I can utilize each of these related functions such that all these related functions are saved into a single file, and that single file or that single piece of code will be called a module. So for example, I can have another function that calculates, let's say, not here, that calculates the area of a cylinder, the area of all geometric shapes and sizes, right? So, or a rectangle, for example. The inputs that it requires, or the parameters that it requires, would be the length and the width, right? I can have all these functions saved together such that whenever I need to calculate the area of a geometric figure, I can simply save these and call them. So that's what a module is. That a module has essentially everything, all related functions together, and it exists somewhere, and I can call it and I can use the functions within it. One such built-in module is, let me first finish this, length and width, and then I can obviously return this area. And I can save all of these together in a single .py file, and I can call that a module. So that's a user-defined module. But there are certain built-in modules that are available to us, and I begin with the math module because we'll be using that a lot. The way you call a module is by using the keyword import. So I'm saying import math and execute it. And once I'm done with that, I can use the different functions in math. For example, one is the square root function. I can calculate the square root of 9. You have other useful functions in this which you can go back and explore yourself. Just hit import math, run import math, and then math dot, and you'll get the different functions. Now, important here is to notice this dot, which we've talked about in strings as well. The moment you write the name of the module and hit dot, you see all the functions that are there. For example, if I went back and I created my own module, which we will do later on, you can simply call the module by saying import whatever module is, and then the name of the module, which is now an object, and then dot function. So that's a little bit about what modules are, how to call them, and all these functions in a module that work on an object are called methods. So I talked about methods earlier. This is what a method is. And it is specific to a certain data type. For example, there are certain methods that are for strings, and then there are certain methods that work only on integers and floating points and so on. So this is just an introduction to methods. We'll see more methods when we talk about other data types like tuples and lists and so on. Okay, so one module and some of the methods that we saw are this sqrt. I can do a ceil, which finds the ceiling of a floating point. Similarly, you can explore more in math. For example, I can also calculate, I think, factorial of a number. All I have to do is double click and find the factorial of 10, which is a huge number. So with this information, I end this lecture. See you in lecture 12.